You're sitting on your bed, and one night you get these uncontrollable temptations, you get these uncontrollable thoughts in your mind telling you to give in, telling you to relapse. And the more that you try and push them away, because you try and push them away, right? You try and push and push and push them away. And every time that you do that, they keep regressing back. They keep coming back even stronger than before. And then a few moments later, you realize that you've given in. You've given in to your urges and temptations. You keep setting yourself goals only to realize that you slip back into the old habits again. You slip back into your old ways, and then it's like this reoccurring cycle. It's like this non-stop repetitive cycle that keeps happening time and time again. And I bet you want to break that. I bet you want to break it once and for all, and you don't want to keep being in this cycle, this never-ending cycle of disappointment and shame. And so today, I'm going to be talking to you about identity and how it's so crucial to change your identity in order for you to live your best life, in order for you to live the life that you truly want, and for you to be the person that you aspire to be. So, you get urges and temptations, and it feels very hard to resist. Because if you identify yourself as a person who is addicted to something heavily, if you identify yourself as a person who is having trouble with giving up something, most likely you're going to find out that it's going to be much harder for you to shift from those bad habits that you're trying to give up. Once you have that identity already established in your mind, that you're a person who already gives into those things, you're finding it very difficult to get out from that. So the thing that you need to come to a realization of is that before you can implement and develop new habits into your life, you need to start thinking properly. You need to change your way of thinking. If I thought to myself, I'm just trying to give up pornography and masturbation, I'm trying to give it up, trying. You use the word trying a lot. And what do you think that does? What do you think it does to you subconsciously when you say to yourself, I'm trying to give it up? It doesn't help, does it? It doesn't help, because when you say trying, it's a very weak word. And so it's like, you know eventually that you're going to give in, but you're just kind of coping. So you're saying, I'm trying to give it up, but you're not actually making a commitment, a proper commitment towards giving it up. And so what your brain is telling you is that, oh, okay, I'm still a masturbator, I'm still addicted to this. So it's just like I'm giving up temporarily, but I'm not actually making a lifelong commitment towards it. The number one beneficial way that you're going to get over this is if you identify yourself as a person who no longer gives into addictions, bad habits. Ideally, what I would do in that said situation is, if I was thinking to myself, I really want to give up masturbation, I really want to give up pornography, I want to give up all of these bad habits that I've got in my life, I would identify myself as a person who doesn't do those things. I would embody the characteristic traits and the actionable steps that the person would take who doesn't do those things. So, I would tell myself, I no longer struggle with this. I'm a person who no longer participates in all of these bad habits. I'm a person who eats healthily. I'm a person who exercises regularly. I'm a person who is disciplined. I'm a person who works hard to achieve his goals. I'm a person who has healthy habits. So if you tell yourself those things, if you re-emphasize and reinforce those positive things, then you'll start to realize that there's going to be a mindset shift. So you're going to be less likely to give into those habits the more that you give yourself positive reinforcement. So the next time that you get tempted to, let's say, masturbate or give into a bad habit, drink or drugs or something like that, you identify yourself as a person who doesn't do those things. So you tell yourself, hang on a minute, no, I'm not a person who does this. I do not do this anymore. This is the action of a loser. I'm no longer a loser. I no longer identify myself as a loser. I no longer identify myself as a person who wastes his life away with this bad habit. No, I'm not that person. Instead, I'm a person who is productive. I'm successful. I'm working towards being successful. And by giving into this bad habit, it's not going to make me successful in any way, shape or form. And also another thing that I find really helpful is negative visualization. There's a really good podcast by 𝗧𝗶𝗸𝗧𝗏. I still have difficulty pronouncing this surname, Huberman. There is a podcast by 𝗧𝗶𝗸𝗧𝗏 who talks, Huberman, whatever, guys. He was talking about the fundamentals of negative visualization and how that can help you in your life. By imagining yourself failing when you're about to give into the bad habit, it can help you significantly, because no one wants to fail. Nobody wants to lose. Nobody wants that feeling of regret, guilt, and failure festering up inside of them. Nobody wants that feeling. 𝗧𝗶𝗸𝗧𝗧 highly suggested that one of the ways to achieve your goals is to visualize yourself failing. So for example, I want to give into masturbation because it gives me so much pleasure and satisfaction. It feels so good. It gives me dopamine. I'm sitting on my bed with my laptop open and I want to masturbate to something. Well, what I would tell myself to stop myself right there and then in that moment is, hang on a second. If I keep doing this, I'm going to be a waste of space. Because people who are a waste of space, this is what they do. They don't have nothing better to do with their lives but to masturbate it away. I'm a loser. Because a person who gets girls, a person who has a high SMV, a person who can attract women, they don't need to be masturbating because they get the women. They don't need to pleasure themselves in that way because they find pleasure in seeking relationships, in having healthy sex lives. So I don't need to be masturbating myself. I don't need to be jacking off 5 times a day. I'm a loser. I'm going to be a virgin if I do this. It's not going to help me. I'm going to have brain fog in the morning. So if you list a bunch of reasons as to why you shouldn't be doing this thing, if you think of all of the negatives and how that's going to negatively impact your life, then that will be a great way for you to overcome this. It's just about reinforcing those beliefs. It's about re-emphasizing the type of character, the type of person that you want to embody. So if you want to embody a person who is successful, who has drive, motivation, who is disciplined, and who works extremely hard towards the things that they want, you're going to have to embody those characteristic traits. But before putting in the action, before doing the actionable steps, you have to change your way of thinking, because before you can take any physical action towards the thing that you want to do, you have to change your way of thinking first. The way that you think first will determine the physical action that you make in the long run. So it's like starting a business. You can't just magically start a business without thinking about the things that you need to do to start this business. Thinking about what your business model is going to be. You need to think about the people who you're going to hire. You need to think about the finances and all of the other things. So before that you actually take physical action towards the goals that you want to achieve, you have to visualize it in your mind, and you have to reaffirm to yourself the type of person that you want to be. And therefore, by doing that, you're going to embody the person that you want to be. If you think about it, repetition, no matter what you tell your mind, whether it's right or wrong, it will instinctively let that in. You got yourself into thinking this way by constantly thinking that you're not good enough, constantly thinking that you're not smart enough, you're not attractive enough. You keep telling yourself on a daily basis that you're ugly. You keep telling yourself on a daily basis that I'm a loser, I'm addicted to this thing. And by that power of repetition, you keep beating it into your mind that you're this person, and therefore that's resulted in you forming this identity, this bad identity. And that's why you find it so hard to give up this addiction, because you kept doing the action of a person who is addicted to something. So you were embodying the characteristic traits of a person who is an addict, a person who gives into bad habits. And so if you did that, then surely we can reverse that so that it can work in our favor. We're going to reaffirm to ourselves that I'm a healthy person. I love going to the gym. I love eating healthily. I love doing work because it makes me feel productive. I love spending an hour per day working on my business, reading a book, journaling, meditating. I love doing these things because it helps me in the long run. It helps me to become much more of a better person. Now that we're on the topic of repetition, one thing that has helped me so much is this little headband right here. You may not know what this is. So what this is, it's a Bluetooth headband. I'm going to put it on right now. So it's a sleep headband. What I do is I play affirmations all night. And when I'm sleeping, it goes into my subconscious. And then when I wake up in the morning, I feel revitalized. I feel so much better. And it's so much easier for me to actually believe that I'm a person who loves to do hard work, who is productive, who is good enough, who is attractive, who thinks highly of myself. It's easy to think these things now, and it just comes naturally to me like that. It comes naturally because after a long period of time, just like I've told you about you instilling bad beliefs into your mind, well, we can change that and we can instill good beliefs into our mind so it can work in our favor. There was actually a time where I lacked self-confidence, I lacked self-esteem, and I didn't want to be on this world. I thought of myself as a person who wasn't good enough. I thought of myself as a person who can't attract girls. I thought of myself as a person who was very ugly, was very unattractive, and that I wasn't worthy of life. And so I hated my life back then. One of the contributing factors towards why I couldn't gain the things that I wanted was because of my self-limiting beliefs and because of the way that I thought about myself. When you think of yourself in a negative way, that actually manifests into reality. I found out that I wasn't gaining the opportunities that I wanted because of the way that I thought about myself. I thought that I was a person who was unattractive. I thought of myself as a person who wasn't worthy of life. I did not like myself and I hated my life truly and dearly because of the self-limiting beliefs that I had. I realized the power of repetition. I realized the power of affirmations and how truly substantial they are in life, and how it can help you astronomically and significantly if you want to make improvements when it comes to your self-image and the way that you perceive yourself. So now I look at myself in the mirror and I tell myself I'm amazing, I'm confident, I'm a hard worker, I'm a good person, I'm a good person, and I matter. I make people feel happy, I uplift people, I'm a positive person, I deserve to have life. People respect me, I'm a respectful, admirable person. And when I tell myself those things, I start to embody the characteristic traits of a person who is respected, of a person who is admirable, as a person who loves himself. I walk into a room, and because I've given myself a prep speech before leaving the house, I either look at myself in the mirror or I just tell myself whilst I'm doing something. Whenever I walk into a room, I have my shoulders up and I look straight ahead. I do not look down, I have my head up high. The body language of a confident person, high stature, open body language, not slouched or looking down like I'm insecure. I walk into a room and people can sense that. They can naturally pick that up, that I'm a confident person. That is like signals, that's giving people signals of the way that they should treat me. It's giving people signals of the type of person I am. I don't even need to say anything. As soon as I walk into that room, people know that I'm confident because of the way that I present myself. I present my body language to be that of a person who is highly respected. All right, so I'm going to give you some examples right now. One person's going to be less confident, one person's going to be super confident. So you're going to tell me the difference, right, in these walks that I do. All right, this is the second walk that I'm going to do. Yo, what you saying? You all right? Yeah, you're good, man. Who was more confident? Obviously the second person was, right? The first person, he was looking down, he was looking around like he's insecure, looking around potentially to see if people are judging him. But the second person, he didn't give a shit. He didn't give a fuck. He was walking around, high, like chest up high, and he was like, strutting. He didn't give a fuck who was judging it. So that demonstrates clearly how when you learn to develop the right mindset and you learn to instill better beliefs into your mind about yourself, it can help you in so many ways in your life, even down to your body posture. If you think that you're a confident person, you're going to display that outwardly. You're going to have open body posture, your legs are going to be open, you're going to have more open body posture, which signals and indicates to people that you're a confident person. Whereas if you think to yourself that I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm unattractive, I'm ugly, I shouldn't be here, I want to kill myself. If you think all of these negative things about yourself, then that's going to show outwardly, externally. The way that you think internally is going to translate externally. So this is a confident person, right? They don't care who judges them. Yo, you're right, man. What you saying? You good? Yo. Oh, hey, Stacey, you all right? Yeah, you're telling me about that. Yeah, I think affiliate marketing is a beneficial way of making money, but that's just not for me at the moment. So thank you for talking to me about that. Oh, hey, Darren, you all right? When I'm open like this, open body language, it tells people that I'm a very friendly person. It tells people that I'm approachable. But whereas if I'm sitting with closed body language like this, it tells people that I'm a very awkward person. It tells people that I'm shy and submissive and that I'm insecure. I don't even need to say anything. My body language does all the talking. If you think about the way people perceive that, they wouldn't want to approach you because it's like, oh, that person is shy, that person's insecure. I feel the need to talk to them. It's like an obligation sort of thing because they feel sorry for you. You can see the difference there, can't you? This person, sitting like this, open body language, confident. This radiates to people that I'm confident. So you can't see my legs right now, but I can guarantee you it's spread like a buffet. When I do a bit of man spreading, I have my arms open like this. It indicates to people that I'm confident, and people will be naturally inclined to come speak to me. People will be naturally inclined to approach me. So yeah, changing your identity is going to be so beneficial in your life because it completely transforms the way that you perceive yourself, and the way that you perceive yourself, it will allow you to achieve your goals. So therefore, you'll be able to achieve your goals. You'll be able to get the girls that you want. You'll be able to meet loads of people, make loads of friends, because you think of yourself very highly. Other people will be able to pick that up as well. So people will perceive you as a respectful person, admirable, thinks of himself highly. So if you think of yourself like that, then other people will think that, and then they'll start to treat you in that way. because you're treating yourself like that. Oh yes, and by the way, this is not a sponsored video, by the way, so yeah. This headband is from Amazon and it costs £20. So if you want to buy that, I'm going to leave the link in the description. Don't worry guys, I'm not getting sponsored or anything like that. So it's £20, I will leave the link in the description below so you can buy that. Check that out right now. So, before I go, I'm going to conclude with this. When you fall down, pick yourself back up again like the warrior that you are, and you keep fighting the fight. You keep fighting that fight, guys, and I shall see you later. Peace out.